Changed the set.
Oh,
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he changed it. Okay.
how do you
It's
change
just
a
a
set
normal
last
Centaur.
second like that?
I didn't think that was possible.
Enjoy.
I didn't know you could do that. That's a little disappointing. Now he's in a full set. He just
Disappointed. I'm mad. Like, what is? This is a, not a cool looking set. It's a cool looking set until this set was added to the game.
Gosh, did he notice that he didn't have the headpiece or something and then just rushed to change his Centaur, or heard that we were already bad-mouthing the non-complete set?
Yeah, they didn't give him the head and the...
The bundle actually came without all the pieces. Yeah. Ame on this Kez. There's heroes up on the high ground. Doom will be here with Panto and Rue. I'm a big fan of Panto and Rue. I feel like they have, ever since they've joined this team, have slotted in so well with Spirit.
They did. Results are missing for Spirit. Something is just not clicking. They're not on top of their game. Not saying that they're playing bad, but not a team Spirit, because they did set the bar pretty high for themselves. So you kind of always expect this type of performance coming out from them. Panel did mention carry Beastmaster. I've been very impressed. I feel like I'd be fine having Beastmaster in my game from any position.
Mm-hmm.
And I would still feel very good about it, because this hero just gives you everything. It's just such a good scaling. I see from carry role, Yatoro is going for double null talisman, because you need some kind of a mana to be able to keep the spam going. Usually Beastmaster is played from the mid lane, so you are buying into bottle. But this time around, you will need that extra bit of mana regen to just keep spamming the axes.
Beastmaster, Doom, Puck, your cores here for Team Spirit. And then this Puck, speaking of which, going up against the Razor. What's the build from a mid-Razor? Is it still just standard Razor build, or is it vary a little bit coming off a different lane?
From what I've seen, mostly it's been still Guardian Greaves. Not sure if he's going to be changing his build due to the fact that he's playing against Doom.
Mm-hmm.
So you might not get the effectiveness of the item. I don't think he's going to be the target of the Doom. It's mostly going to be used on Kez. This is how you counter the hero. But I could also see him like start to scale a little bit. Want to see what the first item is going to be. In terms of magic damage, there's also a good amount of magic damage. But Centaur is going to be building the aura. Let's say they go for one aura on Chen, one aura on Centaur, and then you have Razor with Greaves, so you will have triple aura as your first item, which makes it insanely strong, insanely difficult to fight into this triple aura timing. So I want to see if Nothing to Say is going to go that route, or if he's going to be going for a little bit more scaling, because I think he will need to scale eventually, knowing that Centaur, he doesn't deal as much damage. If Kez gets doomed, your damage is gone. Your supports are also not dealing as much damage, so I think Razor eventually will need to start scaling. I'm thinking about, his Manta styles. Lincoln Sphere is a very good item this game. Lotus Orb as well. For the supports, supports don't really like to buy those items. On Shaman and Chen, you kind of want to build different items, but they're definitely high-value items for this game. Back to you, B-Cup. I think I just talked for a minute and a half.
I was going to see how long you were going to go. Just sat here. I started leaning back, pulled the chair back. But yeah, bottom lane, Ame, you're with Xnova up against this Rue and Doom combo. And Ame, with the Kez, we'll see how he plays. Is he going to rotate through this twin gate at all? Or are they going to rotate to him? How much farm are we going to see Xnova get on this Chen? And because you're talking about 3 of the aura builds coming out, one of them being on Chen, but he still has to get that farm. It's a little bit more difficult for his support to get into that first aura item.
Also want to see what the build is going to be on Kez, whether he's going to... I know that he loves his Battle Fury build for better scaling. Panel did mention the other builds viable on Kez. Vlad's Deso, or Falcon Blade Deso, Aghanim Scepter. Some of these aspects are... like, you're not getting the full value. Again, you are playing against Doom, which shuts down the hero, so your Vlad's is not as effective. Not an easy game for this Kez, I would say, considering that he's playing in so much control. Team fight on side of Spirit is very, very good. You have Beastmaster, you have Coil, Ringmaster, Ulti. Just a very easy, I would say, simple to execute type of a draft from Team Spirit.
Yeah, you have to be dodging quite a lot to survive in this game. Get those BKBs and just try to avoid, you know, Roar and Doom and all these things, but eventually it feels like it'll be just too overwhelming for you to really have that opportunity to stay alive. But for right now, Ame 24-4, he's happy with what he's getting out of the lane. All cores are pretty much farming relatively the same as their counterpart. As Collapse, he's the lowest, but he is just 1 CS off the mark from this Centaur at the moment. So FY and Panto will have a little dance back and forth. Even a Blood Grenade committed to this. As FY will back for a Bounty Rune, another Impalement Arts, as FY sitting quite low. But bringing Panto on a trip all the way through, and
another
Impalement Arts. And Fairy Fire still on the run. Another second Blood Grenade in this fight. And it'll end up being
the Laurel.
Oh my god. It'll be a death at the tier 3 tower mid. Quite a way to go. And then Xnova gets killed in Rue. So immediately they even it up. It comes from the bottom lane. And as is kind of typical, this style, I felt like it kind of fell away from Chinese teams, but I feel like they've been playing slower as of late. A lot of games in the Chinese qualifier that had just happened on land felt like a lot of China teams had been finding their pace be a little bit slower than, I would say, the older LGD days when they were playing a bit more of an aggressive style. But these days, XG, maybe a little bit slower.
Yeah, they've been a bit of a slower team. Like once the Xtreme Gaming was formed, I remember them playing always with like 5k deficit with Jinkyu 10 minutes in, and then they're still gonna be winning the games. But they definitely improved. They are much better at laning. They are putting a lot more pressure in the laning stage towards the enemy. So far, things are pretty even, expecting both carries to get complete free farm in the lane. This is Beastmaster carry and also Kez we're talking about. And they're putting good amount of pressure onto this bottom tier 1 tower.
They've got the shackles, and they will find Rue. Ether Shock to get that. Also bringing the Razor over with the Echo Slash, and it's going to be hard for XXS to hold this Shrine by himself. They do have Prime Aurora. They're going to tame the Beast, but he stays inside the Shrine, and XXS soaks in a lot of damage, but now they held the Roar that whole time. They've got nothing to say inside the Shrine. He's trying to get it. They've got the Hex, and now Shackle's holding him down. Nothing to say. Pops the ult. Yatoro, eventually, can he get the Shrine? Still no. Panto, right-click down by FY, but nothing to say, dies to Panto before he even ends up, well, not dying, surviving. It looked like FY might get the kill there. Instead, there's a bushwhack, and that will be a kill on a Panto. Then FY will fall to Yatoro, but that is maybe not the way XG wanted it to go.
Definitely not. I also want to see that again. I'm not sure if nothing to say didn't want to use Eye of the Storm at the start, because it would definitely change the outcome of this fight. Like, Shaman was coming in as the last TP. He was already there. XXS was sacrificed for the greater good in theory, but not sure this is the trade that XXS wanted from the team to get. If they get like 2 kills, if they get the XP rune. So yeah, Razor's coming in. He doesn't have enough mana for... It's not even online yet. Okay. It just came online, and then he didn't have enough mana to use it. I guess he's gonna use the magic one, but maybe if he started with ulti instead. And then he was forced to use, like, to go back, because his ulti is not really dealing damage, and nice control coming out from Panto. Hits him with the dagger, and then uses the image, and manages to get out.
Yeah, I thought for a second FY was going to get the kill right there on that right click, and they just didn't quite have the follow-up and the damage come in for him. Primal Roar, Bushwhack, Tame the Beast, that's a lot of damage, and XXS is going to die very quickly. Spirit starting to shut down XXS's game, but at the same time, Collapse, he's gone. And Collapse sits even further down the list than XXS does, despite the fact that XXS died twice in a row there. You can see Doom, not a lot of farm at all.
Oh, even with the gluttony facet, he's just not getting the gold. Like, eventually he's gonna start to scale. Once it's maxed out, once he gets to his Hand of Midas, which he seems to be going for, needs some kind of way to come back into the game. And we were thinking what Razor's gonna be buying this game. For now, it's just double Bracer. He wants to tank up as much as possible. 403 build. Your Storm Surge is also your farming ability. Really like the fact that people understood that, wow, this is actually pretty busted on Razor. We don't even have to put points in Static Link. I mean, you are playing against Puck, so in this matchup it doesn't make sense. But he is going for Vanguard.
Hex shackles and no way to stop the control as Laro's gonna die, to nothing to say. Rue getting chased under the tier 1 tower, but nothing to say, not committing, no creeps, nothing to really make that jump on. Doesn't want to go too far under and have rotations come his way.
I don't know if many people will remember this, but literally 20 years ago, this is how China played Dota back in Dota 1 days. They were buying 3 Vanguards, sometimes even 4 Vanguards on the heroes. The Razor being one of them. Just not being able to kill the heroes, and seems like we went full circle. After 20 years, Vanguard Razor is back.
Just the absurdity of you going, I don't think people are going to remember anything 20 years ago from this game. And being serious when you said it. That is so long ago. Back in my day.
Yeah, some of the players playing at this tournament haven't even been born yet when Chinese professional e-gamers at the time were doing it.
Dreamcoil on the 2, Tame the Beast and the Wheel of Wonder as they will get the kill into FY, try to get Ame, but he'll Raptor Dance. Doom is used, and the chase is on everybody's ear. Ame will eventually die.
Yeah, this is also one of the old school counters, whatever we want to call it, matchups where Doom wants to Doom Kez in this game, but there's also Centaur who can use Stampede and then they can run away, but then Stampede is also not very good against Coil, so rock, paper, scissors situation, and I think in the end Spirit comes on top of it because of the Doom just being too valuable of a spell, and I don't think Ame is going to be having that good of a time this game until they get some Lincolns, until they get some Lotuses online.
Not even able to get anything in return. They brought these heroes down here to try and chase and never had that chance to really do anything. They brought the heroes down. Top is now vacant. Kez is sitting over in the mid lane trying to farm and use this Echo Slash and get anything he can. He is second in the net worth, but now Sharpshooter flies in. He is silenced and Dreamcoil is there. Ame's just dead again. And there wasn't really much to it. And they are going to get a +1. As FY falls, it's a double here for Laurel with some help from his supports.
This Vanguard into Crimson Guard, like, they don't even have... Sure, it's a good aura. It's undispellable, but I don't think they're getting the full value. It's one of those situations where you as a mid laner, sometimes it happens with the off laners as well, you don't have that, like, clear item that you need to go for that's going to have this massive impact. You have, like, 3 okay choices, but you don't have that one great choice.
That's kind of what he's suffering from right now. And it's put Spirit in a situation where it does feel like they are much further ahead in the way that they're playing the map and the way that they're kind of executing at the moment. Nothing to say, just Vanguard 2 bracers. Like, this Crimson will be all right, but they might need more to come their way. As Ame, who just died, is caught again, and
they don't even need it.
Dead. They'll have Doom to hold and use in the next fight. Battle Fury finally finished off for the Kez, but he might just have to take his Battle Fury and go back to the jungle and not show for a while.
Yeah, next, because they didn't use Doom. If he shows up like that again, he's going to get doomed. At least they have Stampede available, so that's going to help potentially, if there's no coil. But this is something that we did talk about. These 3 auras that are going to come online on Xtreme Gaming, they just need to get there. They need to get those auras online. Crimson now finished. Pipe, he still needs another 1,000 gold to finish it. And then you have Chen going for drums, going for Solar Crest. Team Spirit, so far, they've been doing a good job getting these pickoffs, shutting down Ame, killing him 3 times, not allowing him to scale, because Kez, this hero can definitely pop off. If he's off to a good start, he can take control of the game.
Right now he's not. Instead, we're seeing Beastmaster with the fastest Ags.
Yeah. Also, one thing to point out is Ru, is that he maxed out Acorn Shot. He's playing against Chen. It's very good dealing with the creeps, and also that's gonna allow him to get quite a lot of farm in this game, because usually you see Scurry, you see Bushwhack being maxed out, 1 point in Q usually is enough, but if he also wants to push out waves, it's gonna be much easier for him.
He's taking up a lot of that farm over bottom as well when Collapse is off in the jungle, so he's getting a lot out of the game. Not really so farmed at the moment, but he's starting to find some space on the map that he could take some farm from. That being said, of the supports, Chen, I mean, doing Chen things and being the most farmed support so far.
Just Chen things. This hero does farm a lot.
Sure does.
And I like the item choice that I see on Collapse. The Midas, that is going to pay off with 2 charges on Devour. Shiva's Guard's going to come in relatively soon, knowing that you are playing against this Kez. You want to slow down his attack speed, reduce the healing from his Raptor Dance. Great against Chen, great against Razor as well, because Razor also deals good amount of physical damage. And there it is. Those 3 auras are online. Now I want to see Xtreme Gaming try to take the fight, to see how well they can fight with the auras.
Are the auras going to be enough, though? Yeah, you'll have the sustainability, but do you have the damage to really make it work?
The rest of you are the circus.
Do you wait for this BKB for Razor?
No, yeah, I think you want to be taking the fight right now, see how strong
Fight's
you
coming
feel.
to them instead. Dream Coil gets used, and they'll use the Stampede to maybe turn this around, but these heroes are low. They get the turnaround on Yator. The MOUZ FY Raptor Dance is there, but the Doom out of the Razor means nothing to say is bound to fall. Tame the Beast, but grappling hook over to Panto, still alive, and Impalement Arts, the silence. Arl was in with the Waiting Rift. Ame now trying to parry to survive. Gets the silence, but the Infernal Blade Collapse finds him. Ame dead again, and that's going to be 3 heroes down on the side of Xtreme, while XXS stuck within his own allies' Serpent Wards.
If he had the different set, he would be too big to be blocked by Serpent Wards. At least you could see what was happening in the fight, with the head sticking out from that set, not having the helmet.
Yeah, mascots have a tough time. You see, they get the kill on a Beastmaster there, but losing 3 and losing Ame again. Not only is Ame falling behind, but Nothing to Say is very behind at the moment. He's had a tough life up to this point.
Yeah, Step Centaur got stuck there. Was unable to do anything, no stuns, but he did provide the aura, at least. So, at least some value coming out from him.
Not the most valuable. That's a bit of a tough one. Tough situation to swallow there. XXS looking for the Blink Dagger. And it's a little bit of gold away. But then they'll have that initiator more so. Someone to kind of jump in, finally have that stun for you. They don't have a blink yet on Shadow Shaman. He's also looking for his. The timings should be pretty similar on where him and the Centaur get their blink daggers from. They did kill Beastmaster, but he's still sitting top of the net worth. No surprise there. And he's working with that blink Ag, soon to be BKB. So they need to maybe slow down Yatoro, and I thought maybe they'd make a move, like you said, with the 3 auras, but I think that last fight over mid,
yeah, it's
making them asking questions that they just don't have.
Yeah. Are we strong enough?
Yeah.
This Doom, by Doom I mean ability, is causing them a lot of issues. In the last fight, he was used on Razor, and then Kez felt very comfortable coming into the fight, thinking, if there's no Doom, I can do whatever I want. Then suddenly he gets slowed down by Puck. They throw in Blood Grenade, Bushwhack does connect, and suddenly he dies. This hero doesn't have that much strength gain. It's quite low, and also you're not building into too many stat items, at least at the start. So you're sitting at 1500 HP, which makes you very burstable.
Yeah, that strength gain, definitely not the Largo 3.3 type of strength.
Largo's 3.6.
Oh, God. 3.6. That's so much. It's one of the highest in the game, isn't it?
Centaur has 4.0.
Yeah. Tame the Beast, Dream Coil, Ame, he's the one being focused again. Old D there from Chen, but still with the Impalement Arts, Illusory Orb trying to jump over to Ame. Well, grappling hook to safety. Stampede, stop for a second with the Bushwhack. They've got the Hex, the Link gets onto the Doom, and Collapse is going to be focused, but they go to the Primal Roar. They're trying to turn this around. Sharpshooter flies in, Essence Ring again. He's still alive, but eventually falls. Now that stands up dead. Again. They got him in between the Serpent Wards a second time. Yatoro with a triple kill. That's... It's a bit of grief. And by a bit, I mean kind of a lot. Kez is going to go for this? I'm a little worried if Ame dies again trying to turn this around, but he will get a kill on Naru. Eventually, X-Nova dies. Laurel, even in trouble, he's silenced. Pav is helping. He'll heal up a little bit with his own Essence Ring.
That's his Manta style, so a lot of things that he can dispel. It's good against Roar when Beastmaster blinks in, tries to roar you. Even great against Doom when you're like lifting your hand, trying to get the Doom off. So Manta style, high value for this game. At least he's getting something done, and he's cleaning up. So he's level 15 right now. Smoke through the gates. Seems like they want Roche. They know that all of these abilities have been used. No Stampede, no Chen Heal, no Shadow Shaman wards, even though that is a bit of a downside for Team Spirit when they're on cooldown. Because the last two times, FY did manage to block them off.
The Serpent Ward usage has been a little questionable here from FY, but hopefully as the game goes on, we'll see if it works out. Maybe he can wrap them around a hero on the enemy team the next time that they go to use them. XXS. We saw, again, they didn't win that fight for Xtreme, but you definitely saw the idea of coming together. Unfortunately, they're starting to fall behind where maybe the idea stays a thought.
If they can survive long enough so they don't die during that Doom, and then they can like make a turnaround while you get the Raptor dance. There's a lot of auras on their side. There is Crimson, there is Pipe, Chen is building into Vlad, does have drums, does have Solar Crest. So a lot of these things, as long as Kez lives long enough, if they can reset the fight after that, Kez can carry these fights. And they want to be playing longer fights. You have Centaur, you have Razor, who is naturally tanky, especially with the Crimson Guard.
Just needs to get to that point, right?
That's the toughest part, usually.
Yeah. Lincoln's soon for Ame, but he needs some time here. Just don't fight. Let me farm a little bit. They've got Aegis anyway. Avoid some fights for the next 3.5 minutes.
I like the itemization. I did say it at the start of the game that they will need Lincoln Spheres, they will need Lotuses. Ame about to finish off his, as you mentioned, and XXS, he is going for Lotus Orb of his own. So that most of the time is going to be used on Ame, try to precast it when he's about to jump. And I also think Aghanim Scepter on Centaur should be his next item, the high value item in terms of saving people during the Doom, get him out of the coil so you can try to reset.
Try to get that hitch a ride. And hopefully survive. But man, this net worth lead is just... 2 seconds ago, it was 3K. Now it's 6,000 for Spirit. they're farming so well and taking over so much of the map.
You're just not very good.
And it's also Rue getting involved in finding some space because their map is so big for them and they're tightening it up on XG. Now this Squirrel is finding space to farm.
Yeah, they want to use
Capped
this
ahead of this Chen.
2.5 minutes left on it. For now, they only see Chen creeps, so they could follow the Chen creeps, but this is not the target that they want to take out immediately, but they will have to take it.
Chen will eventually die here to Laurel.
It's a lot of magic damage amp as well. You have Parasma finished relatively early on Puck, then you have Boomerang, and then you have Beastmaster with all his magic damage plus the right clicks. He is a bit of a mixed damage hero. But yeah, the magic damage is definitely going to be through the roof. Add Shiva's Guard on top of that, so Laurel is going to be, like, Laurel's having a really good game. And it's going to get easier for him.
Can Xtreme stop the pressure that's being put on by Spirit as they throw a couple of hits over onto the tier 2, but then start to back away? You've seen Puck in between the creep waves here, in between the tier 2 and the tier 3 over top. Doom's not quite yet joining them, and Rue's backed away. You take a look at the comparisons, and nothing to say as well as Laurel. And ahead right now, at least in the GPM department, is this Puck. Nothing to say, it felt like it was a long time waiting for him to kind of get to that Crimson and get to that point early for the Aura, and then the BKB's a little bit slower from there. And it just, he's not really hit that jumping off point. Paleman Arts hits XXS, coming all the way across from the triangle.
Casual 50 HP region on Centaur.
Jumping forward, Yatoro, he's A-OK. Backs off from the aggression from XG that they want to go for.
Finally, that Lincoln Sphere is online. In terms of abilities that can proc the Lincolns, they don't have many. It's basically Roar. They have Doom. So for now, he is keeping Mana Burn, which is gonna come in very handy to proc those Lincolns. And suddenly collapse in top 3. He did not have a good laning stage, but Hand of Midas, 2 Devour charges are definitely paying off.
Definitely are, and they've smoked here as 4 for XG. Kez just sitting bottom and not much to connect to if they go towards him. Can they get these kills as 4? Looking around, not finding much of anything, and more movements from Xtreme that don't really find a net positive at all. This is a bit concerning. Spirit doing a good job of just kind of staying away from Xtreme and the ganks that they're going for, and still putting pressure onto the top tier too.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
XG down 7K. Lukas, like, what's the game plan? Is it just put pressure on this tier 2? Are you waiting for another 2 items on Kez? What exactly are you waiting for?
Radiant's top tower.
If you're the side of Xtreme.
I just think they're okay with farming another round of items. Like, once they get to... Kez wants to get a BKB. Razor, he's not getting as much. He bought Shard of his own, wants to pick up Lincolns, but this Aghanim Scepter on Centaur that we did mention after getting the Lotus Orb, the fights are going to be much easier for them. So for now, they don't have to rush anything. If they can keep this game in a state like this, where they're not losing more than 10k, it's still winnable.
Dire are scattered.
Always a chance. Same looking for the BKB. Ags, like you said, is next for Centaur, looking for the hitch ride. Sustaining and maybe disengaging, the name of the game for the side of Xtreme at this point in this game number 1. Not too far away from that BKB. And another Lincoln's being built by the Razor, so definitely very defensive at this point, to the point where
They have
it's
to.
Shadow Shaman also looking for a BKB.
is under attack.
That's an interesting one. But just trying to be able to stand his ground, have that control, and make sure that these heroes can't get away on the side of Spirit. It's going to take a lot of time for him to get to that BKB. A pipe dream a little bit here for Shadow Shaman. But if he can get there, it would be great for Xtreme, but still, all things rolling on all cylinders for the side of Spirit. They're content with just being able to farm at the moment. I don't think they're too afraid of the next few items that come out from Xtreme when they're looking towards getting a silver edge and getting a little bit more. And now even forcing this BKB. Static Link, the chase is on. Nothing to say, but it feels like Collapse is kind of baiting him in. That's exactly what he's doing. Morrow was ready to pounce, but didn't need to.
BKB used. They're fine with that one. And they're putting the pressure. Yatoro, he's hunting them down. Shadowblade now completed. Behind enemy lines, there's also Observer Ward behind enemy tier 2 tower that Panto just placed.
Getting them that aggressive vision, protecting this Beastmaster if anybody were to come through towards bottom. Unneeded at the moment because he gets that tower for free. But other than that, things staying more of the same. There's that BKB for Kez. So another item timing moment where maybe they can look to fight on the side of Xtreme. Gonna have to wait for the ulti and the BKB of Razor if they want to do so, though. And Team Spirit looking like they might use this timing to just go for Roche as they're setting up near the pit. What can they make happen? Xtreme close by, smoke used by Spirit. Over by the Roche pit. They'll hold this position up onto the high ground and maybe wait for Xtreme to make a move, or maybe take it to them with X-Nova nearby and XXS in the area. The jump, the coil, that's on two. The silence there with the Waning Rift. They go to the Wheel of Wonder, the Primal Roar. A lot being expended for just X-Nova as the kill at the moment.
Nothing
So
to
now
say.
the Static Link, nothing to say, sticking on him as much as he can. That BKB is going to run out soon. The Yatoro's taking a lot of damage. They'll look for the hook stomp, but they lose that BKB. The Doom
Hitch a
comes
ride.
through the Hitch a Ride for a second. But the Doom is onto the Kez, and he'll start to back off of this one. But a lot used from both teams and not a lot gained. So now he'll be at about half health. The Doom will wear out. Maybe he could jump in and Raptor Dance. Blink forward from FY. Doesn't catch anybody with a Hex as well as a Shackle. And Ame, he's here with the rest of his team, but can't find their hands around anybody on the side of Spirit.
Yeah, those big items are up on Xtreme Gaming. And the fights are so much easier right now. You can tell that they pop these auras. They have answers for Doom. Lincoln Spheres are up. Lotus, Hitch a Ride. Let's see if they can take this fight. Roar is up again in a couple of seconds. Oh, he got bashed by Roche.
Pale Menards with the Pierce, and now he's Hitch a Ride again. They had that Hex for a second, Yatoro with the Primal Roar. And nothing to say this time, not really having that BKB, but Static Lynx turns this around, trying to survive, ends up dead. Olaro, Ame silence, he's dead too.
What a play from
Two
Brew.
heroes
That dual
gone.
Scepter.
XXS, he's gonna fall. Triple kill and godlike for this puck.
Oh, he stopped the Raptor Dance. He came back in, and then immediately the extra bit of a cast range makes it easier for Hoodwink to go for a play like this. On paper, it sounded like a good play from Xtreme Gaming. Can't really blame them for going into Roche and try to make something happen, knowing that Doom is on cooldown, Primal Roar was on cooldown. Again, they're baiting a lot of these abilities. Dream Coil was also ready, and then a little bit of unfortunate. Sure, he's going to be able to get out in a Hitch a Ride. They're using everything on Ame. Very good bait, but this damage coming out from Beastmaster right-clicks is also a little bit too much. And that Dual Scepter, as we said, is causing the issues. It was a nice try from Ame to come back into the fight, use the Raptor Dance, get a bit of a heal, and maybe play from there, but it is not enough.
It's really going downhill for the side of Xtreme, but you're rooting for Spirit, happy with where the game sits. 15,000 net worth lead, and now the Blink Dagger is there for the Ringmaster too, and they have this Tormentor they can take, get themselves a nice juicy shard for Collapse. So Doom getting his shard and having that upgrade to the Scorched Earth. A lot of time to work with an Aegis and potentially pressure the high ground of the Xtreme base. Gotta be very careful about what you give up if you're Xtreme, but maybe use this time to try and farm, because for right now, a fight seems tough, but they are smoked and they might be looking for it. They're not as 5. They do not have the Centaur here. They do not have Kez.
They need to be together, otherwise they're gonna get jumped, they're gonna get doomed. Stampede is available, but there's also a very good amount of control on Spirit that can hold them in place. Laurel having a blast of a game.
Oh,
Immediately TPing out.
BKB and TP out.
Didn't want to risk it.
That is now a bit concerning. Panto gonna pick up the Shrine. He's looking for an Aether Lens. Nothing to say without that BKB. He's still working on this Lincolns. Gets the ulti orb from it, so gets the most expensive piece. Ags for X Nova. That upgrade to the Hand of God. And will it be enough? How strong is this Aghanim Scepter for Chen?
It's very good. It is very strong. He does have GPM enchantment, 100 GPM, so that's going to help him potentially get to that point. But you want the full combo, you want the blink, you want the BKB of your own, and then Aghanim Scepter. Otherwise, I don't think you're going to be getting it. It's not an easy thing to execute by any means. Well, this Razor is just dead. Like, if he doesn't get saved there, this is what we talked about. The extra bit of a damage that you're taking from Shivas, from Hunter's Boomerang, and Parasma. Basically taking pure damage.
So difficult to deal with. Spirit know exactly what they want. Raptor Dance is used. Yatoro in some trouble, but he's got an Aegis anyway, and he's got the ability to just get out with that Silver Edge. And they lose that tier 3 tower. This is brutal for Xtreme. It just feels like death from 1,000 cuts. And not much they could do about it. At points, the game was closer and the answers were possible, but it just feels like they're overwhelmed by damage and have no answer, despite the fact that you've got all these auras, you've got all these heals, you should have sustain.
You have sustain, you have a lot of defensive mechanisms, but the damage, it's not there. Your damage is Kez, and if he's getting controlled, if he's getting roared or doomed, the damage is just not going to be there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like 4 protect 1 strat, because Razor's still not scaling. I think Razor did soak up most of the damage on the team, probably the highest number. But in terms of damage that he dealt, I don't think he would be up there. Maybe I'm underestimating the Storm Surge because it has a lot of hidden impact, but definitely not the impact that you wanted to
jump in. They've got the Lotus. It was on a Laurel. Laurel's going to stay alive for now. And they've got this Link. It's on Naru. They'll even pop the Dream Coil. Nothing to say with the BKB, though. Starting to do some damage. Plasma Field thrown out. Laurel's a little bit low. They go to the Doom. It's onto the Centaur. Who already used Stampede. But now the box to save Laurel. The damage on Nothing to Say. He had that static Link for so long, but it didn't end up mattering. FY is going to die. They'll go after X Nova. The chase is on for the Chen. That's going to be good at third. Ame on the run. Grappling hook to get away. They won't dive the base, but they lose it. Nothing here on Spirit and take out 3.
Very disciplined. This is how you imagine Team Spirit are playing the fights. They go in, Laurel really pushing the limits. He only died 1 time this game, and then Panto comes in clutch, does have a Blink Dagger, does have Lens on top of that. Makes it easier for him to get the save, and then rest of the team is ready to clean up. This Beastmaster carry, this is why I said, I think multiple times, This hero is just insane how much damage he deals, whether we're talking about the mid lane where you're going for refresher Shivas, you already have Shivas from your offlaner. So Yatoro opted to go for more right-click oriented build, Silver Edge, Manta style, and Bloodthorn.
This is such a tough game for XG, but it looks so easy for Spirit. I mean, they made that bottom fight. They drag out Nothing to Say and know that his BKB is not that long. Even with the static link, they drag him out, they doom up the Centaur, and then they pounce back in. They make you extend, and then they close the walls on you. And it's a difficult situation for Nothing to Say, who seems to have been building this Lincolns for what seems like forever.
Pretty much. He bought the Shard as well. Not sure if Shard was a good purchase. Cast range is better, and you also slow them, which is... I don't think you're getting that. If you're getting the link, you're getting the link. You have good amount of control coming out from Shaman, coming out from your Centaur. And this is pretty much do or die. Xtreme Gaming, are they going to be able to find something? Let's see how Spirit reads the situation. Collapse, he's blinking in. BKB ready.
Yeah, they'll find Collapse away from the rest of his team. The damage from XG is enough to get a kill. No buyback available for Doom.
They were quick. Proc that Lincolns. Didn't get a BKB off immediately into Hex. I think Spirit still wants to take that fight.
Do they need Doom? Oh my god. Roar gets used and Hitch a Ride won't matter. They couldn't pick anybody up. They will look to get the Centaur, who's still alive for now. Hand of God coming through, saving his life. The turnaround of Yatoro for a second with the BKB being popped, and he's able to walk away from the fight overall. Throwing these axes out, maybe even looking to re-engage again. Laurel up onto the high ground, illusory orb. Yatoro off to the side, but these heroes on the side of Xtreme Gaming are going to start to back away.
You can tell Ame feels much more comfortable coming into a fight with there's no Doom, knowing that he is dead for 35 seconds. So he's coming in, trying to make something happen, but it's still not enough. He is the damage dealer. And if you look at the fight recap, it basically tells you the story of the game. He's the one dealing the damage. Everybody else is just chipping in.
Trying to give what little they can to the cause. Is Daedalus the point where Ame is finally online? I say that, hold on. Hoof Stomp, Bushwhack pulls him back, Dream Coil, Stampede committed. And Sharpshooter flies in, Laurel. BKB of his own. Illusory Orb and maybe sticking on XXS, Hitch a Ride, that extra duration on the Stampede. BKB popping Nothing to Say, Link is gonna be popped on Collapse.
It's finally online. Collapse, I guess did not see it, so no Doom this time around, but you can tell that Xtreme Gaming, they have so many defensive tools, so many layers with the multiple Lincolns, Hitch a Ride, Stampede, Lotus Orb, so they can play, or at least try to play a bit of a longer fight, and we have a repeat of what happened in Roche fight #1.
By the way, refreshed immediately now for Doom.
Get it out of the system. 4 Devours. He wishes he had Hand of Midas as well.
I'm full.
Yeah, what is his magic resist? Sitting at 66%.
They find Yatoro. They've got the damage and they get the kill. Ame overwhelming this Beastmaster. Is this the beginnings of a potential comeback, or is this false hope? Laurel looking for that jump. Dream Coil, he's level 25 this time.
Yatoro has buyback.
One more time, buyback's gonna be used. They'll find FY, they're thinking about going to the Doom, and now they'll look over at Nothing to Say. They've got the Primal Roar that's gonna be the control that they need to get the kill to the Razor.
Look at the damage.
Ame's in, Yatoro just fought back. He's dead for 2 minutes, but now it's Ame against the world, and he is doomed up. Bushwhack lands, and he is dead again. 4 heroes gonna be gone. There's not much XXS can do except stand here and sponge up all this damage. Eventually the Hoof Stomp and the Double Edge, but there is the Tame the Beast. Full team wipe here for the side of Team Spirit. A glimmer of hope for a second, killing Yatoro, but the rest of the team has more than enough to shut that shit down.
Yatoro is contributing. He's pinging Attack Watcher like multiple times because he died so quickly. I want to see amount of damage that Kez did deal in that previous fight. Yeah, it's just nuts what this hero can do. But the real carry of this game is Laurel.
Yeah, he is doing a lot, especially when they do not have access to the Beastmaster. Tier 3 top, pressure is on. Sharpshooter flying across, and now Blink hooks up.
Kez with the buyback. If they go in deep, he definitely has that button ready to click. If they can find the opening, if Shaman can find something, they're gonna back off.
Technically defending, not giving up the megas. How big of a deal is it though? Kez holds the cards necessary. Just needs to tap the mana, get those lands ready to go, find the right spell. He finally has 15 mana on the board, but can he get something out that's gonna make a difference? Or are they just gonna play their 2 blue and counterspell?
They've been playing counterspell pretty much
the
throughout
whole
the most game. Yeah, you try to do something. Lincoln's at Lotus. In response, I'm gonna use cart on my carry.
Actually, I'm gonna respond. Oh my god.
Put it onto the stack.
Stack goes clockwise. Smoke. 4 heroes smoked up. Kez, he's near the area as well. And Rue just gonna throw that sharpshooter out there. Can he see anybody? As they wrap all the way around and are looking for their chance encounter to make something work. Dream Coil comes in immediately. Two-man coil, they'll go and find that hitch a ride for a second, but FY is already dead. Dream Coil again. Lauro, now the refresher from Collapse, the Primal Roar. Ame's in, but he's doomed up, and that's a problem. X-Nova, FY, XXS already dead. GG is called before the fight is completely over, and that will be game 1 going the way of Team Spirit.
Oh, I like how they called GG, like he was doomed immediately as he gets doomed.
Thank you very much. Coming into game number 2, Spirit have themselves a 1-0 advantage in this BO3. And this time they've got the Kez Lacoste, and I want to say if you have just a little bit better of a game than what Ame had, you feel like you're in a much better position, because we saw at the end Kez had the damage, but the start in the mid game for the Ame Kez was not that good. And now you're looking at Spirit, who I feel like might have a little bit more stable time in the lanes to make it happen.
Yeah, they have, like in terms of lockdown, I do like when you have setup on your side lanes for Sunstrike, one of the best, if not like the best hero in the game. That's Shadow Shaman, so you can easily set things up. Doom, not as much. Like ideally you would want to have some Centaur, maybe Mars to be able to have that overwhelming team fight, something that can hold them in place, and also your safe lane. I don't think you're going to be getting the benefits of locking people down so that Sunstrike can't hit. So it needs to be Laurel, and Laurel seems to be having really good day because he completely owned that game number 1, died only once. He was pretty much the carry of that game 1, and we'll see if he can replicate that. I also want to be seeing what kind of build Storm Spirit is going to be going for, because there's a bit of a new meta that we have been seeing where you are going for Guardian Greaves and then Largo with the Shadow Word, so there's going to be a good amount of healing. Sure, you're playing against Doom one more time, so he might swap things around, but we'll see what he's going to end up going in the end. And yeah, I think Largo is going to need to have massive impact from the off lane because of his catchy lick. If there's a lot of things that he can dispel in this game.
What's the game plan behind maybe even taking out the egg? Is it solely on the TV? Is Storm going to be able to get there? Because like I feel as though the Largo, Hoodwink, and Warlock
trio, it's very bad. Like,
yeah.
It just doesn't exist. So it has to be Storm, it has to be TB. TB's job usually isn't to hit the egg, somebody else needs to hit it. Also in terms of protection against the egg, you have good amount. You have shackles, you have, unless you're in a bad spot, and then you're the one getting controlled. You're the one getting jumped. Tornado's going to be very clutch.
Deafening Blast.
Yeah, Deafening Blast, of course. Very, very good spell to defend the egg with.
I see that maybe being like a mid-game problem where maybe egg is level 2 and you just don't have the ability to get to that, and these fights might even be won on where those eggs are. And, you know, and inflation's making these eggs tough to get your hands on. So things...
Oh, top lane.
A bit of an issue.
FY.
Panto.
Panto's
What a
actually
lie,
in
but
trouble.
FY
He
as
did use
well.
dive. Does have healing cell, so everything's going to be fine. He did hit them with the fire spirits. Larl's also definitely watching this top lane.
Yeah. Want to be ready to potentially throw a Sunstrike out there, and even, I would say, bottom too, right? Like, there are definitely opportunities for Sunstrike to come from any side. If they can get on top of this Warlock, get him low, and have those shackles, they have opportunity, but instead it'll just be onto the TB for a split second. Similar to game number 1, where First Blood took a while. Pacing of these games being a little bit slower. But pulls trying to happen for both these teams, and that'll be stopped by Xnova, who comes across and at least gets some of the creeps to come his way. Although everything very, very quiet, as there will be a pull, but no stack made for the dire side for Spirit. So it'll be there for a split second. Collapse kind of getting zoned out. He's unable to come back and walk on over, as he's forced to even TP back to his tower. That's a bit rough, especially with the lack of resources at the moment.
There's double bracer healing cell coming up the career, so he is going to be a-okay. Problem is you're playing against Warlock. Warlock pretty much wins you the lane just by being there, using Fatal Bond, securing the creeps for your carry, and it's a good TB game. Like what he's playing against, it sounds very good on paper. We'll see how Yatra is going to be approaching, and they are playing extremely aggressive. Problem is, Lek is on a relatively short cooldown. Level 2, 11 seconds. You are playing against Phoenix. You have all these stacks from Kez that are dispellable. Fire Spirits, pretty much everything from Invoker, Meteor, Cold Snap. So a lot of value from that spell.
Panto in trouble again, and FY will get that first blood. Sunstrike, it is on the money. And Laurel will get that kill onto the Hoodwink as a bit of revenge. At least get something in the return. And early on, it is only 1-1. But that's the way it's been going. And XXS game plan, pretty much the normal Largo. Get that Ags eventually.
Yeah, have
try to get online. Yeah.
And then start thinking about what you want to be getting next. Usually it is Kaya Sanj for offlane Largo. But the problem, like, this hero farms very fast if you can get the levels. Frog Stomp is an insane ability. You can see that FY is already stacking for him. And again, this is a bit of a newer trend that we are seeing from the offlaners picking up Tranquil Boots, because Windlace is a valuable item once you disassemble it. Uh-oh, XXS, he's cooked. XXS is cooked. I repeat, his Tranquil Boots got cancelled by Yatoro, so... yeah, this is not the boots that you want to have on the hero. We'll eventually get back to that, but Ru, they have no stuns in this bottom lane, no real slows, no points in Q on TB.
That's a bit of a problem.
It's
Frog
a massive
Stomp.
problem.
Icarus dives, Sunstrike, and Yatoro gets the kill on XXS. What did he get hit by that ended up doing that? Was it the... I'm trying to figure out what made him get hit. because he stopped for a full 20 seconds in just a, my Tranquils got hit.
All right, he's not going to be upgrading Tranquils. Not going to be getting another pair of boots.
So now no Guardian Greaves.
No, he would get phase boots. He would get phase boots, but you don't have that extra move speed. You don't have that extra armor. You are getting extra armor, so that's not that big of an issue.
Right.
They're looking for a Sunstrike potentially in the bottom lane, but it does feel bad. You don't have that extra move speed. Laurel?
Sunstrike down, and they get the kill on a Laurel. FY getting credit for that one.
But nothing compares to a heavy bolt and a dead shot.
And Shrine for Yatoro. That'll push him to 6. So both Shrines go the way of Spirit, who could definitely use the extra experience injected into their veins.
It's a lot of damage onto this tower. It's almost dead, down to 300 HP.
A lot of damage early on. Laurel coming back. 2 heroes here, but can't quite make a move. See how well they defend this tower. And early building damage numbers. It's 1,600 to, doing the math, 0 for Spirit. But I think they're content, right? They don't have to be putting the pressure onto the buildings just yet. They're the ones getting some farm right now. They're happy with where the game is 8 minutes in. Why push something you don't need to? As you see the net worth, Kez having a solid time in his top lane. Tornado flies and splits the seams of nothing to say in FY.
A short one, didn't connect. And also FY managed to deny that rune. Collapse, about to crack level 6.
He's far forward, vulnerable to this bushwhack and
body blocks
Acorn
by
shot.
that illusion.
X-Nova's here. Fatal Bonds and the Shadow Word, but Collapse quite tanky and getting low, eventually falling to the Fatal Bonds X-Nova put onto these Warpine Raiders and Collapse. Not a bad move, not bad at all to get this kill onto Doom.
Warlock's now level 6. Doesn't have mana to get the Golem going, but with 3 charges of Grimoire, it was enough for him to reach that level 6, getting very close to having mana for Golem. Playmaking for Team Spirit isn't really there. Like, your mid laner is not the guy that is making moves. Your off laner is also pretty static. Your 2 supports also don't have a way of starting a fight. We're talking about Shadow Shaman rushing in and maybe getting a Hex from a smoke. If he can find the angle, that's your best opportunity. But other than that, they don't have much. Their 5-man is going to be strong, especially because Invoker is going for Meteor. So you drop wards, you use Meteor Hammer on tower, suddenly that's gone. And XXS farming on a different side of the map with his good old Tranquil boots in the jungle.
I definitely meant to get these Tranquil boots. But into Ags he'll start to go, and Meteor Hammer now for this Invoker. I've seen a couple of different builds with Invokers here and there. I enjoy Meteor Hammer.
It's good. It's good. It gives you spell amp, it gives you mana regen amp, good stats. Like you get 6 agi and 6 strength, and you get 24 intelligence.
Vortex pulling in Collapse, Fatal Bonds again, Doom used. It's on the Storm,
Doom
and
out of
that's,
spite.
yeah
that's...
oh, maybe not! Oh.
He's fine. They knew. X-Noah was hugging him, knowing that this Sunstrike might actually come.
Sticking together. Doing a dance waiting for that Sunstrike to come. Got their wish and ended up soaking it up anyway. Xtreme have really started this game quite well, and they've got a 2,000 net worth lead. But again, I do think that it eventually will come down to how's Kez's game going. And it's not the same as what we saw in game number 1 with Yame Kez, right?
No, he's doing really well. did manage to kill tier 1 tower in the top lane, opens up the map, opens up the entrance to the enemy triangle, which is also stacked, so they could definitely clear that one. XXS, Largo off lane. This hero doesn't really move. This hero wants to keep farming until you get the Aghanim Scepter, just be off the map, and then you start to play with the team.
It'll be some time, but takes time to get to it. It'll be the top side of the map. They pretty much can expect where he's going to be out on the side of Spirit as well, so they can make moves around that information. But the smoke gets used by the side of Xtreme. They're looking to expand on this lead. This small lead that they do have as their triangle is going to be farmed up a little bit. Thinking about the chaotic offering, they'll throw it down into Yatoro, and now he's just dead. Sharpshooter landed, fatal buttons were there. They got the kill on the not one but two. Double kill for nothing to say. And that's a good way to maintain this lead, is by killing off that Kez and making sure that his progression slows down. Because he was closing in on that Battle Fury. He was just about to have it.
Very nice move. Like, they smoked all the way from bottom into their own triangle, knowing exactly where Team Spirit is going to be farming. Kez, as you said, very close to that Battle Fury, but doesn't have it, which is going to give Ame another good couple of minutes to maintain that top spot on the network if we exclude Storm Spirit.
Hex, Sunstrike with the Meteor and the Deafening Blast. Good job by Spirit to find their answer and getting a kill on Ame. Starts with Rue wrapping around these trees and getting that Hex into the shackle. Now you can lay down some damage onto the tower by using that Meteor Hammer and just trying to pressure as much as you can.
Rue needs to find farm. It's very important for him to get a Blink Dagger, because this is the setup. On the side lane, you blink in, Hex, drop the wards with the Sunstrike. You should be able to grab the kill, probably on Storm Spirit, both supports. Largo might be a bit too tanky. Nothing to say. What is he building into? Just Kaya into BKB. He wants to have extra bit of protection, wants to be able to maybe even TP out if he gets doomed. Pento. FY snipes him.
Yeah, this combo's kind of disgusting. When you're able to just use that Sharpshooter and have that damage ready to go. But still, again, waiting on Largo. Just kind of get to this Aghanim Scepter, but they are proving that you don't need to have him definitively to make moves at the moment when you've got that Bushwhack control with the Sharpshooter and the Vortex. Shrines picked up one apiece this time. Laurel still farming with this Meteor Hammer, has 1,800 gold saved up. Nothing queued just yet. What's the game plan for this Invoker? Oh, and there it is. It's the Aghanim Scepter.
He's selling. He's
buying,
thinking,
selling, buying, selling.
I think he might be
Boots
thinking
now.
about Boots of Travel if they want to be playing potentially on the side lanes with Shadow Shaman. Ideally, you would want to have Shadow Shaman with the Blink. So for now, he's just saving the money, and Panto again.
In the same
Sharpshooter.
exact spot.
Nothing to say. Oh, this is a very deadly combo. Go in, pull him in, and just that extra bit of damage is all it takes.
Invoker back to Ags, queued up, by the way. Buys and ships out 2 of those items. I saw him, I was watching his screen when he went to go queue up the Ags again, and it was like, Crown, Boots of Travel, Crown. Okay, just the Ogre Axe, back to the Ags, no the Crown, then the Ags again.
So what you're saying is that Laurel needs to go to Learn tab in Dota 2, click items, and check what is available.
I just don't know the A to B there on everything that he clicked. It was kind of ridiculous. I know there are people who have, like, they click buttons a lot and need to, like, get it out of their system, but that was a bit. They're going to try and get the kill on a Yatoro. Might try, they'll succeed. Sharpshooter again, FY. I mean, this combo is so deadly and will get another kill. Sunstrike Largo in some trouble, but the chaotic offering comes in, and XXS will start to play that funky music and will survive against what they were putting through, as that's 3 kills for the side of Xtreme.
Oh, Spirit, they just don't have enough. Every single time they show up, Kez just dies. This is his second death, and he can't really do much. Like, he doesn't feel too comfortable jumping in. This is also before Ame is going to be joining the fight, before he's going to be able to stand his ground and just right-click that Kez. That's one of the issues. The only way you can initiate a fight is from your position 4, and he's also the one getting jumped who can't really do as much. Or offlaner is not a team fighting offlaner, it's more of a I farm, I get a lot of gold, I'm going for Midas, but somebody else needs to start a fight.
It's tough for Kez to have his opportunities right now, but the opportunity is there for Xtreme as they get that Aegis into the hands and nothing to say. So we're finally starting to see the music being played by the Largo, and Largo does have that Aghanim Scepter. You can choose one song, Lacoste, to be your Largo song. What are you picking?
Darude Sandstorm.
Dire are scanning.
All right, I respect it.
What about you? SpongeBob team.
What, SpongeBob team? What even is that?
Yeah, the song that it plays. Or
Yeah, go on.
yeah, I don't know how the song goes. I never watched, but I do know that you watch that. But every single day when you wake up, this is like your 20 minutes to decompress after sleeping.
It's just SpongeBob.
SpongeBob, SpongeBob.
You don't even know the lyrics of the song. I can't. What, do you not have that?
In
Like,
the bikini bottom.
In the
SpongeBob's having fun. I don't know. I don't know how it goes. We all live in harmony.
Have you watched an episode ever?
No, I only know some shorts and I know some memes from.
What are you
SpongeBob.
watching? AI SpongeBob? What is happening? I don't even know what you're saying anymore. You're making me question whether or not I'm living in reality when you do stuff like that. Oh my god. Yeah, but it would probably be the fun song from SpongeBob, I guess. If I'm gonna be shoehorned here, might as well go for it. Ame, meanwhile, going for a Hurricane Pike. Blink Dagger, like you were calling for the Shadow Shaman, he finally has it.
It's a bit late. Let's see what they're going to be able to do with it.
They have the Hex, and now they've got the Doom, the Cataclysm, but do they have the damage to get this kill? He's starting to get a chance to run away, and he gets all the way away. Rue's dead, Collapse falls, and
he's sticking down.
He's dead anyway. But
they're still trying to heal him. They're still trying to use everything on him, even though it doesn't work. But some old habits die pretty hard. And yeah, Panto also not really seeing the impact that he had in the previous game on that Ringmaster. Nothing to say, however, popping off completely.
Finding themselves Phoenix again, but Panto gonna be able to survive it. They look for Laurel instead, and he'll just be Sunrayed and TP out.
Nice play from Laurel, seeing that Vortex has been used. FY also initiated with Bushwhack.
Probably got excited when he was able to TP out, sing some SpongeBob songs, some AI SpongeBob. I'm gonna come back to you in like a couple days, and maybe we'll show you an episode of SpongeBob while we're here.
You tried. I think.
Is this a recurring bit?
No, but you don't remember the conversation that we had? Like you were very excited about one specific episode.
I mean, I'm excited about a couple episodes. It's a great show. It's a banger. Smokes from both teams. There's nothing to say. Ball laning forward for Panto. Can't find him. Blink away from Rue.
They got the Hex.
He jumps in, and they hit that tornado. They've got the EMP. They go into this egg, and there's just not enough right-clicking happening, or is there? Nothing to say against the kill on a Panto before losing that Aegis. Chaotic Offering dropped down early, but now they have found themselves Yatoro. Kez needs to try and run. Sharpshooter going to be avoided. They go to the Cataclysm, but that's not going to land.
Connecting.
And the Meteor, it rolls on top of another to save, but they've got the right of Mitos. It's going to be on Laurel. Laurel's going to be in some trouble when the tornado comes out, and now still running, but the Vortex connects. They get the kill. They'll take out Laurel. Two heroes dead on the side of Spirit. They hit the Hex onto the Largo, but they're continuing to chase.
Yatoro, he's
Yatoro
going
goes
in
with the Echo Slash, but does he have the damage? Doom through. Largo in trouble. Hex killed, gone. XXS, have they gone in too far? They're going to try and chase on an X-Nova. Icarus died from Panto. Trying to find the damage. They'll grappling hook. They'll Sunray. They'll kill off X-Nova. And Yatoro with a double kill, salvaging anything they can get on the side of Spirit over this Xtreme Gaming over Chase.
Oh man, I would not want to be Ru in this game. Like, knowing that everything kind of relies on you getting the spells off, you need to have perfect positioning. And also, if we're going to be seeing that fight again, like, he was very patient. He saw Golem being dropped, then he uses Tumbler's Toy in the opposite direction, gets out of the trouble a little bit. But yeah, not an easy game for him by any means, having no support from his team whatsoever. Like, there are no saving tools, and he's gonna get it. He definitely deserved it. His foul play did get proc there.
Did you see the win percentage that just came up?
No, what was it?
86% for Xtreme.
For Team Spirit.
For Xtreme, for Xtreme. I know you like to finish my sentences, but wait, just chill out for 2 seconds. No, 86% is kind of crazy for either of these teams at this point in the game. Looking for Kaya Sanj, BKB next for the Largo. Ru might find that fly, does find that fly, but nothing to say is here with the help of X-Nova, and Ru will end up dying. 4 heroes here. And looking for potentially a +1. Sharpshooter in, BKB popped, but Collapse is still dead. Nothing to say. He is just in, and in. It is kind of crazy how much confidence he has right now. And he is working with 21 galvanized charges.
That's a lot of mana regen. 6.3. He also has mana drought. So extra bit of regen coming out from this. He has Warlock with mana drought as well, mana boots, and Shadow Ward. So he never needs to go back to base. They're also the ones controlling all the power runes for him.
Mm-hmm. Definitely the case so far. And looking to finish off the Witchblade. Nothing to say now, looking to output so even more damage. Acorn shot, bushwhack, cleaning up the creep waves, doing what Hoodwinks do best, is starting to gather up some of that net worth when that map opens up and gives opportunities to these supports to get a little bit more. Cataclysm, Echo Slash, and Largo in trouble. Yatoro still showing why the Kez is a scary hero to have to go up against.
That's probably the best target that they can take out. They don't want to be playing a longer fight, because they want to go in, kill the target off with the Doom, drop the wards, use this Cataclysm, try to grab a kill. Problem is, their control is very limited, so Cataclysm most of the time is not gonna hit. It needs to be Shadow Shaman with the Hex, ideally with Shackles, to be able to hold them in place so that you get hit by 2 of those. But I would definitely give Team Spirit higher chances than what Dota Plus gave them in this game.
It was at 14%. Now it's at 13%. I went into that sentence thinking that it was gonna be better.
It has to be TB and Storm. These heroes traditionally tend to carry games, especially if the games go late. Phoenix is the one, like Panto, is struggling. He got comboed way too many times by Storm Spirit and Hoodwink.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody has to, so that they can get the farm. Doom, BKB, Blink Dagger finished with Hand of Midas going into Shiva's Guard. This Shiva's Guard is going to be pretty massive. It's great against TB, of course. It's great against all the healing that they have.
Collapse. Bottom alone and feeling free enough to farm. But at any moment, it does feel like nothing to say could be there with this Hoodwink. See how they gather up, because Roche should be up soon. So, you know, he was there bottom, TPs towards top, joins the rest of his team. Obviously, like you said, looking for the Shiva's Guard, and, you know, can he get to this timing, or are they going to be forced to fight? And just looking to see if they're in Roche, throwing that Sunstrike down. 5-man smoke from Xtreme, far away from the rest of his team. Needs to be very careful about his positioning. And they've got the scan that connects onto Collapse. The jump in Hex, it hit onto the Storm for a second, but he's able to pop the BKB.
Good rock.
Collapse also popped his BKB. They hit the Vortex, the Sharpshooter. Yatoro in some trouble, running in, but does he have the damage? The Cataclysm this time drops down onto the Largo. They should be able to get the kill, but no, the Sunder save
Collapse.
from Ame.
He got the Doom.
Oh man, they were able to save XXS for a moment, but they still get the kill. Largo's gonna be dead anyway. Yatoro's in a lot of trouble, grappling hook away, and jumps further out. FY trying to follow this up, trying to find an acorn shot. The buyback's going to be committed here by Rue. FY in deep, but not really a problem for the side of Spirit, as they will catch him. They hit the Hex, they get the Shackle, they'll get the kill. And that fight, I understand saving the Largo, but then Ame has nothing to offer.
Let's see how much damage he dealt. He still dealt the most damage in that fight, even though he was not in the fight for the second part of the fight. He was just out there running away, and he survived with 100 HP. He definitely did the math. He was right-clicking Kez. I guess that's where the damage was coming from. Kez doesn't feel too comfortable to stand his ground and focus a guy who's shackled while TB is hitting him. And again, nothing to say. He's just having that perfect game. Didn't die a single time. Knows that there is limited amount of control, so he can jump the backlines easily. He can choose the target that he wants to go for. As long as Shadow Shaman is dead, as long as Shadow Shaman uses his abilities, Storm Spirit's free to do whatever he wants.
And now, Roche, can you even try to steal this if you're Spirit?
I think Collapse is trying to go for it. It's his specialty.
Sunray, Roche on the outer part, Collapse! Ooh, close. But this time, just a little bit too late. The TP attempt, but not gonna be enough. And that's gonna be 2 kills for the side of Xtreme.
It was a nice try.
Say he's got a gem. He's following Laurel. And now they've got the Vortex, the Bushwhack, and this should be a third, as they will lose this Invoker. It's a tough one there. For Spirit, try to make a move and lose 3 for it. And it's, of course, the pros and cons of going for it. Trying to swipe that Aegis.
They got the banner at least, so that's something. But the problem is, they are going for your high ground. They feel very comfortable. Storm, again, with the Aegis. Right now, Spirit, they are trying to creep skip. Yatoro would definitely love to have that butterfly available. It kind of swings the matchup in his favor up until TB can find another item. At least give him some edge, because so far, he hasn't been able to do much. Could we check the numbers, like the hero damage? I feel like Kez is not, like the damage numbers are not gonna be as high. 11,000. Nothing too crazy, but at this point of the game, you'd probably assume that they should be slightly higher. He's struggling to go in, considering what he's playing against. To go in, lock onto a target and kill it. Like, you need heroes that can keep them in place so that he can actually deal damage. Let's see if they can maybe find another round of items. This butterfly that we mentioned is going to be kind of crucial, and Shiva's Guard on Doom to slow them down, provide vision, and reduce that healing.
It's all just so far away. It's all so far. Like, the Hex that they wanted, the Invoker only has 550 gold. The Shivas that you said for the Doom, yeah, he's got the plate mail plus 300, but he's still 1,700 gold away from finishing off this item. Like, they need a good amount of time.
Nothing to say, he's invis.
Oh boy. Vortex connects. Cataclysm, Yatoro, BKB jumps after FY. They get the kill there. The Chaotic Offering's going to be thrown down. They get the kill in a root. They're going to look over as Yatoro trying to parry his way to safety. Nothing to say, waiting for his moment to ball lightning back in. Grappling hook, TP attempt out, but they'll take out the Kez. They finished off the Shadow Shaman, and they are working well with this Aegis.
Very difficult fights for Spirit. Again, Shaman, he needs to do a lot more than the hero can actually do. There it is.
MOUZ. And Ame's in trouble. He's running away from the Largo. Doesn't want to be in the fight anymore. EMP. Ball Lightning still going for collapse. They'll get the kill there. And I believe that this is going to be Terrorblade surviving.
Nice play from Panto. He actually baited him. That's going to be a lot of levels coming up Panto's way.
Throw it in the highlights. That was pretty sick.
Try to snipe him first, and then realized, oh, DB, he's coming for me. He's coming for that Thunder.
His hands were like this. Had they gotten together, I know obviously you guys can't see me making these movements as I say like this, but they almost got together. He almost got the Sunder off, and then he just got baited into a supernova. Bravo. Uh-oh, don't move. Oh no. Vortex sharpshooter and a kill here for nothing to say. Worth it though, I would say.
He is excused to die after a play like this.
You may die in honor. Tormentor. Cataclysm. Not gonna matter all too much. Shard now for X-Nova.
Nice try. I've seen these Cataclysms getting a kill on Tormentor, especially if you have melee heroes, because they are sitting on top of it, and then those Sunstrikes are stacking up.
I feel what you're saying. Toro sitting third in the net worth. Storm still having that perfect game. 32 stacks on the Galvanized.
Didn't die a single time. Has 700 mana regen while that while that Aegis regeneration was going. Now back to only 40.
Oh man, darn. Life is so difficult.
If the fight lasts for a minute, he gets his whole mana pool back. If he uses all of his mana. Now it's even higher, 46.
I had to do check your math there. Bushwhack on it too. Rue still alive, actually. Surviving it all. Doom comes out, and now they're going to lose the Storm for the first time. That was 1,000 gold going towards this Kez. They get that kill, and all of a sudden, Spirit feel great. They get out of that. They have no casualties.
And most importantly, Yatoro gets it. He gets that gold. Suddenly, with the Butterfly, he's sitting on 2,000 gold. He just finished off that Butterfly.
Now down to 30 galvanized stacks. Oh, darn. Still so many. And having that much is pretty ridiculous. But they are looking to fight while Storm is dead. Storm, I'm gonna them on the side of Spirit, does not have buyback. And I mean, it's a 10,000 net worth lead. They still have some damage, especially there with Ame, but the side of Xtreme do not want to try and fight. Not yet. They'll look towards the tier 2 and quickly get a tower.
10%. I definitely think this is higher than 10%. They basically need one good team fight. This kill on Storm Spirit, definitely a huge amount of gold influx that Team Spirit did receive. If they can get Alacrity on Kez in a fight, never underestimate the death. I think this is pretty similar to how Gyrocopter operates in most of the games, where you'll always have damage. No matter what happens with Gyrocopter, if you're going for Divine Rapier, if you're going for Swift Blink, damage is always going to be there. I think Kez is very similar in that regard, and he's going for an assassin type of a build. I was thinking about getting the Silver Edge, and seems like that's going to be the case. So he can find the backlines, kill these heroes ideally. You can kill XXS. He only has one lick, I think, 7-second cooldown to remove some of those stacks, and then the damage is going to start to add up.
Gotta try and kill this Largoba as quickly as you can. I love me some Largo. But what they don't love is Laurel. And they are trying to get the kill on him, but he'll pop the BKB. He gets invis with the Glimmer Cape and is able to run away, despite the fact that these heroes from XG got together with the Sharpshooter and the Vortex trying to get a kill there, but are unsuccessful.
He is level 20, has +2 meteors as well, so that's gonna be a lot. We call that Meteor. What he has, he actually has 4 of them because he has Meteor Hammer on top of that.
It's a lot of meteors. Add some pasta, you got yourself a nice little Italian dish right there, which would be quite nice. 10K net, don't look at me like that. 10K lead for Xtreme. As Yatoro still farms up and looking for that 25 as well. That's the next on the docket with the Silver Edge. And Butterfly for Ame has that Ayascari. Things quieting out ever since that kill on the Storm.
Gotta be more careful. He invested all of his gold into that Lincoln Sphere, and as soon as he showed up, he died, so he doesn't have buyback available. Yatoro, he's gonna start Roshan. Alacrity, flares DOTA as well. He found Alert Enchantment on top of that. It's a lot of attack speed.
Tornado, Vortex pulling back
He
Kez.
needs help.
He's in trouble. Needs a lot of help. Not going to find it. 90 seconds without the Kez. The Cataclysm flying in. But again, not really doing anything. Supernova's going to explode. Rue almost dies. Fatal Bonds on everybody. They'll get the kill on Rue. It's actually Roche who's got himself a kill. Vortex pulling back Collapse. That's going to be 3 dead on the side of Spirit and Aegis. Those last few right clicks for the side of Xtreme. And Roche will be claimed by XG.
Oh, gotta be more careful. I think this attempt to go for Roche is a bit risky because they have good ways of starting the fight, seeing inside of the Roche pit. You have TB illusions, you have Storm Spirit who can zip in. And this time around, it's gonna be Ame holding that Aegis, and off to a high ground they go. 50 seconds without Kez.
This is a second set. Might lead to Megas. They have the banner mid just taking shots from the towers. Uh-oh, Tornado kind of giving himself away. BKB, Vortex, Lincoln's popped. Tier 3's gone. This is going to be Megas. A tough spot for Spirit as they are down 21,000 net worth.
They're ready to close it out,
Rue.
potentially.
Lincoln's popped again. Shackle, but that gets stopped. Glimmer Cape, Meteor's down. Ball lightning across. They'll lose Rue. He's got buyback. Probably going to be forced to use it. His kid's going to be alive. But they are up against Megas, and they will chase for a second, but it's not an easy chase at all. They're even going to TP towards the edge, but stop that and not look to make a move on this Xtreme team retreating.
Kez is okay dealing with Mega Creeps with Battle Fury build, but others not as much. They still have that Aegis up and running for another 3 minutes. Meta coming off cooldown.
This could honestly just be a turnaround and go situation, especially now with the Aghanim Scepter for Storm. Refresher Shard, Aghanim Scepter, gets rid of the boots to slot that in. Almost level 25. And working with 50 mana regen. I once heard a wise person say if the fight lasts for a minute, he could have all his mana back. Not sure if the math still...
Now he has 200.
Maths.
200 per second, not too bad. This is we're in Slark territory with with the new build. A couple of videos did pop up. Thompson playing Slark, maxing out his Shiv, and then having 200, 300 regen per second. The diving fountain, 7-10 minutes into the game.
Weren't people skipping Shiv just a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
Like, I love when Dota theory crafts and finds success like that. 13, 1, and 14. for this Storm. A 5-man smoke looking to finish the game. They're dealing with mega creeps. It is a big issue to have to handle. And they're just going to move forward. The Meteors were used. They've got the Vortex, and they've got the kill on Laurel. He's got buyback, but it's a rough situation to be in. This other tier 4 getting rocked by Xtreme. There's the buyback. They pop the Lincolns, but Chaotic offering down on Naru. They're going to refresh for nothing to say. They go to the Vortex. They get the kill to Yatoro. He doesn't have buyback. That should just be it. Rue, Laurel, both gone. They'll pop the egg, they'll make omelets, and they'll get themselves to a game 3 as Xtreme dominate game number 2 to force us to go to the distance.
Oh, this 1-2 combo between FY and Nothing to Say was just beautiful to watch throughout the whole game. Every single time he zips in, he hits it with the sharpshooter. They got so many kills out of it.
Wrong about. Very possible. Okay, let's find out. Game 3 coming your way with B-Cup and Lacoste.
Thank you very much, Sheber, and we get into game number 3, Lacoste, with another Kez, and this time a Leshrac that's using, you want to say that word for me on his facet? The Leshrac one?
Leshrac one? Why don't you tell me the name of Vizi's facet?
I'll let you know in a second. Avalanche comes in, Panto. He's in trouble. Blood Grenade comes through, but a good stun from Rue, and Panto going to be able to survive the initial onslaught. Let me take a look here.
Go ahead and pronounce this word. It's supposed to be English.
Are we sure about that?
It sounds French. Sepultre.
Sepultre.
What is it?
Hey Google, what's Sepultre?
It is facet that allows it. Like it was very. I saw Visage players back when PL was a hero. Oh, it means a crypt apparently. So you don't have to Google it. The production, they know.
Yeah, it's essentially a small room or monument cut into rock or built of stone in which a deceased person...
And how do you pronounce it?
Sepultre? Maybe? I don't know, man. Sorry, I'm putting a little flair on it. Yeah. Thanks, Google. I appreciate that one. Thank you, production. Man, you really got me right there. You pulled the Uno reverse card. I was gonna try and get you with the Leshrac one. You really said 2 blue mana counter spell. We saw what the XXS damage can be in that initial fight. Well, they didn't get a kill with it, but there was the potential there. We'll see if they can lead up with more of that and see if the Tiny and the Visage can get it done in this lane. As Laurel here up against Nothing to Say, and I'll go back and forth in the lane as we've seen this matchup so many times, right?
Yeah, we did. But we've also seen this exact same lane from like 10 days ago when they were playing against Aurora Gaming. They did win that game. This is the game that panel we're talking about.
First blood for Rue, countered by Ame, getting collapse. We'll see if there's any success from a Kez this time around. Another game, another Kez. Seems to be the case. But Kez, is this matchup good for him up against the Batrider and Nyx Assassin? It seems like it could be tough.
Not a big fan. I feel like having a BKB piercing tool against Kez, something that can grab him during Raptor Dance, could be pretty massive. You're playing into this overwhelming damage from Leshrac, and if you get hit as Nyx Assassin by one of those, like if you get any kind of stack on him, he can just carapace that easily, stun you, and then you can follow it up with another stun. But also a bit of a different matchup. I think when Ursa had his old shard, this was one of the best matchups against Kez, because you had this stacking damage when your shard was tied to your Earth Shock and Enrage. But now you're a bit more glass cannon type of a hero, because you're dealing more damage, but still, if you're the one controlling him, a lot of the times if Ursa gets the jump and he's the one getting the stacks on Kez, let's say you get 6-7 Fury swipes, you can't come back into the fight, because with the next overpower, you're gonna die. Well, Laurel, he's going
Laurel trying to trade up, and Laurel under the tower will die, but he got the kill on to nothing to say. Panto gonna tip Laurel, and they're even gonna dive this tier 1 tower. Flame break, Icarus dive, avoiding that blood grenade. That was close to getting the Phoenix. Respect the dive, though, from Laurel, despite the fact that he lost his life. Avalanche and XXS continuing to output that damage, trying to at least get their hands on this Lotus. Doesn't quite have it to get the kill on Yatoro just yet, but eventually XXS will get that finishing blow.
Yeah, Vici, he's very good at getting those trade kills if he stays alive. As long as you have mana. Soul Assumption, it's a lot of mana consumption. You 110, it's on very low cooldown, 4 seconds only, but you need to have some kind of mana regen. He does have 1 null talisman, bringing extra regen. And this game, I think it's all about the auras. Like, your first item on Visage should definitely be Boots of Bearing, and then you can start thinking about what do you need? Like, what kind of damage do you have? What do you need to block? And most of the damage on their side is magical, so I wouldn't mind seeing something like Pipe. There's other ways you can build a hero. If you need Vlads, this is something that Kez loves to have on the team. You could definitely pick that up. I think Gunnar talked about the Crimson Guard as well. So pretty much you can buy anything on this hero and it's gonna feel good.
See how he progresses with his items. If it's gonna be the same kind of Kez game, is it gonna be a slower item progression? Is it gonna be, you know, quicker into the Battle Furies we've been seeing from them? Because I feel like both Kez's had like just about enough gold for their Battle Furies in both the games we've seen so far.
And then they died.
And then they died. And it was just like so on the edge. But it slows down the game pretty significantly for both of those heroes. And now we see the damage over time coming out. XXS, he is going to throw that Soul Assumption over, but now an Avalanche.
And he got a toss back?
And they
Yes,
have the toss, but under the tower for only a moment. Can they get the damage onto Yatoro? Just trying to use these infused raindrops to block out any of the damage that's coming his way. Raindrops very important on both these heroes. Kind of nullifying the damage output that XXS wants to have. So you're going to have to find a way to cut through these raindrops and, you know, maybe get the sun to shine a little bit more.
It's been, I think, the toughest part for Ursa in this lane is gone. They're not snowballing in this lane. They are shutting down what Visage wants to do. He wants to keep that pressure going. XXS, he's bringing another clarity in this top lane. So they want to keep that pressure. Rue making a move around the mid lane, knowing that Storm Spirit's still not level 6, but Leshrac is, because he got that solo XP. Very good read. Let's see how Nothing to Say reads the situation.
Panto here too, and I think with Panto showing, Nothing to Say is not going to risk going out far enough where Rue gets that kill, but maybe he comes forward when Tiny shows up. It is the 6-minute rune timer, and it's an amplified damage for Laurel. Laurel getting that amplified damage. We'll see if he moves around with this, tries to get a kill here onto any, maybe even these side lanes, but
Tiny deep in
hold
bottom.
onto it for
They're
a while.
setting things up. They want to potentially get a kill on Collapse. Ame, level 5 still. X-Nova coming as well.
X-Nova showing on the lane, FY off into the trees. Nobody moving forward from the side of Spirit at all. And it's getting to that point where the shrines are going to be important. They've got 3 heroes set up here for the side of Xtreme. FY going to move over. They've got this Watcher. They have the Vision. So they'll close the eyes on that. And TPs will start to come through. You've got this amplified damage to work with. So they might come over.
But on the other side, Panto's trying to be sneaky.
Ooh, X-Nova's here with XXS.
3 birds.
6 wings. And Panto.
4 heads.
Another number. I don't know. But yeah, 1 shrine that they will grab each.
This summer.
This summer.
1 desire.
Pierce Brosnan stars in. Jason Statham stars in.
So who got it? I got distracted. 1 each. Okay.
Oh man.
Dire's top
Just start doing movie trailers and Lacoste can't pay attention to the game. Oh, that's funny. Putting some damage down onto the tier 1 tower. Yatoro just trying to defend as much as he can. They've got the familiars activated for this Visage.
Tower is under attack.
As we hit that 8-minute mark, and FY, he's been roaming around, he's been looking, he's searching, he wants something. And will he get this summer? So I'm locked in. I'm sorry. I gotta get myself back out. Yeah, lock out. Shield rune for Laurel. He's been picking up the power runes. He's got the 6 and the 8-minute power rune ready to go. Didn't really use that amplified damage for anything too abusive with that extra bit of oomph, but now nothing to say coming in, trying to go for collapse. They've got the Raptor Dance, and nothing to say against the kill there onto the Bat Rider. So they're the ones making the moves, and despite the fact that maybe Leshrac had that earlier advantage, it's the Storm Spirit who makes the first mark off mid.
Even though Rue started with the first blood, he's still level 4. They got 1 shrine, but you would definitely want to have some extra levels on next assassin. Top lane, XXS, he's doing fine. Like, he's doing okay, considering everything what he was playing against. Jakiro Ursa, it is a killer lane. They did manage to get 1 kill out of it. And now Rue, Ashley shield, keeping him alive.
And now they turn on nothing to say. He's got no mana, and he's going to end up dead. Laurel getting that kill over mid with the help of the supports. Good moves from Spirit. Nice path lands. We'll throw some damage onto the tower. Laurel working with a shield rune, not too scared to be up front, at least for the moment. Especially with the help of Veru and Panto. Both supports to the side of Xtreme are going to try and defend the tier 1 tower. And they'll do so pretty easily. It's leaving Visage by himself. He's continuing to farm. You had said he wants to go for the Boots of Bearing first and then see what he goes for afterwards.
Yeah, I think Pipe sounds like very good. You're playing against Leshrac. Nobody on the team wants to be buying Mage Slayer. You want to be reducing some of that damage. Bat Rider as well, Jakiro, Nyx Assassin. Kind of natural build-up, I would say. Another rune.
Yeah,
to say.
3 for 3. Or, well, now another rune here for nothing to say. Hits his first. Laurel had gotten the other 2, sorry.
He got the big one.
Yeah, the Arcane Rune out of shield and amplified damage. He can do a lot more with this one. And they will get this tower over mid, so immediately XXS putting that pressure on, coming over to meet the supports in the mid and get that kill. Not a lot in terms of just kills and whether or not it's going to be this bloodbath so far, but pretty sought out on the towers, or at least putting the pressure onto these towers so far from the side of Xtreme. Methodical at this point, but we'll see what else they want to go for. Is Ame working on finishing off that Battle Fury.
Yeah, this is the best start that we've seen in the series for Kez, I would say.
Truly.
Top of the net worth, 11 minutes in, about to finish off Battle Fury in the next minute or so. Tower's going to die in the top lane. That's going to be some extra gold coming out for him.
Definitely the best start thus far. Blink Dagger early on for the Leshrac. And 250 on the gold needed to get at the Battle Fury. They're going to smoke and go through this Twin Gate. So away they go. Yatoro also working on a Battle Fury, so similar build-ups here for both these carries. And there's the Boots of Bearing for the Bat Rider. We've seen this once before with Bat Rider earlier today, where Boots of Bearing was enough to survive a gank early on, but will that be the case this time around? Raptor Dance trying to chase, they'll get the kill, and Ame's got that one.
And that's going to be the tower. Ame's Battle Fury about to fly out. This Kez, this time around, does have almost 2k more net worth than the enemy carry. He actually does after finishing off this tower.
Rue now has this level 6 though, and we'll see what they can do with this Vendetta. So is he going to be that damage dealer? Is he going to be that playmaker? Or is he going to just be more of a mobile ward at this moment of the game? And that's really what they're trying to find out with this first Vendetta usage. There's nobody top just yet. They all kind of retreated from that bot lane, and they didn't go through the Twin Gate to kind of go back towards top. They are going to TP in this area. XXS is going to be up towards the front. They've got
FY.
Nix behind
He knows something is up.
XXS.
This is not an easy kill to get. Does Laurel have Blink Dagger? He does. All right, that changed the situation a bit.
Stun, FY caught.
But they're going for FY.
Not giving up the vendetta just yet, but finally goes in, gets that kill. FY's dead, but it will look to be a
Whoa.
trade. Laurel
NTS
gone.
just dies. He just burns the macro pyre.
Yeah, I was not expecting nothing to say to just drop like that. But now Yatoro thinking about going in. How much can he help? Ame gonna fight this. He's got the help of XXS. They might even want to chase. The familiars go forward, and Yatoro is gonna end up going the other way because now they've got some help. They've got Collapse, they've got Rue. They hit the flame break, the stun onto a couple, but the damage from Yatoro right onto XXS will finish off the Visage. And a good trade from Spirit because they got nothing to say. Like you said, he just kind of stands in this macro pyre, and then they get the +1 of XXS after what looked to be, or what shouldn't have been, a good fight for Spirit after losing that Leshrac.
Yeah, he definitely should not die there. NTS in this third game, already having 3 deaths, 13 minutes in the game. They didn't even focus him that hard. The wraparound on the mid lane was nice. They kind of camped his rune, so he didn't get the 6-minute. He didn't get the 8-minute rune either. But we'll need to be more careful. That BKB is going to need to come in clutch, even though they have some BKB piercing abilities. Still got to protect himself against Nyx Assassin, against just like random ice path on the ground.
He needs to be very careful. Ame now, he's the one who needs to be careful. Trying to Raptor dance, but unable to get that off. And now the Supernova, the toss out of the tower. Laurel, they will get a trade. This time nothing to say, doesn't die. Good usage of the Supernova, the toss as well. But it's a trade you really aren't trying to make, and this is something that we've kind of seen with these Kezes, is they'll, die before Battle Fury, but they'll die a couple times after Battle Fury, getting involved maybe a little bit too much.
What do you call him when his Supernova doesn't get off? We call him X-Nova.
That wasn't a pity laugh. I just tried to hold it in. Sometimes I purposely try not to laugh at your jokes. I'll be honest. That was a good one.
Back to the game. Batrider now with the Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
Like, we see this bit of a newer build. Boots of Bearing. Most of the time it is Pipe on Batrider. But this time around, they kind of lack initiation. So I do like him picking up a Blink Dagger and also picking up Black King Bar, because you are playing against a lot of control, a lot of things that can stop you from going off. So you can play with your Ursa, you can blink in, you can play with your Leshrac as well, even Nyx Assassin. So Team Spirit, in the next couple of minutes, they should be very fine at getting the pickoffs on the side, because you have so many ways to start a fight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ash Legion shields. When the patch dropped, I thought for a second it only works on the hero that uses it, but because it looked OP if you could use it on everybody else in the AoE, but it does work that way, so pretty good item. I think the number is a bit too high, the amount of damage that you can block. Like right now, it's 140 physical. It doesn't last for too long. It lasts for 6 seconds, but you can definitely clutch it.
Lasso, Macropyre, Ice Path, the control ready with the Impale. Collapse gets the kill and nothing to say. There's that Blink Dagger at work for Collapse in the side of Team Spirit. Now picked up this Kaya on Leshrac. 6 seconds feels like a long time. Like, it's significant, right, with that shield.
Yeah, especially if you have multiple of those, so you can just keep using them. Oh, Ame, he's in a good spot.
Avalanche toss, Ame, with the help of FY, who will get credit for that kill. And as they continue to make these trades, but it was nothing to say who ended up dying over mid, and that was the disappointing part for the side of Xtreme. They are not having the same Storm game as the last. Who's, what, ended at 13-1 in 14? Something along those lines. And XXS, just that one death to his name, but it does feel as though maybe that one death slowed down what he was trying to do.
Yeah. Vici as a hero, you need to keep the pressure going. This is the hero that can farm. Also, with pronounce his facet again, you don't even know what it is. You have to read it.
Sepultre.
Yeah, with that facet, you can also recall the familiars, which makes it easier for you to farm. You can farm on one side of the map and then recall them without needing to resummon them.
I feel like I nailed the pronunciation that time.
Yeah, you really did. I'm sure it's correct.
Ooh, multiple blinks trying to jump FY, but instead they'll find XXS, and he is dead to rights. Yatoro getting that kill. Avalanche onto the bridge. It's 2 heroes, but the chase is on. Toss, familiar, slamming down. FY slowed up, Lasso connecting, and that will be another kill for the side of Spirit. They get their hands on 2, and they will look for this tier 1 tower. Is Ursa a bit of a problem?
It is becoming a problem. Ursa was... I just noticed that Ursa was moving very slow. There are 2 boots of bearing, so they took his boots, and he's not moving as fast. There's one on Batrider and one on Vici. Into the Roche pit they go. It's going to be Roshan for Ursa. I think this matchup still could be in favor of Ursa. As I said, once you go in, if you attack him, especially now with you holding the Aegis, you get those stacks, and those Fury swipes, they stack for a really long time. You're not going to be able to get rid of them. It's not dispellable. So you can't come back into the fight. With like what Kez wants to do, he wants to play a longer fight. Like he wants to go in after somebody else. He's not an initiator by any means, but he also wants to be in a fight longer after the BKBs are down, and then he goes in and tries to clean up. But against Ursa, he's not going to be able to do that.
Nothing to say. Searching with FY to try and make a play here. Watcher is active, and they'll stay on the edge of it. Looking for somebody maybe with the help of XXS. They're dealing with an Aegis now. 4 heroes grouped up towards top for Xtreme Gaming while Kez continues to try and farm. Still kind of waiting for that moment where, you know, Kez pops off and makes us say, Kez, ooh. But there's not really much of that at the moment, as it feels like even though he's top of the net worth, they have the tools on Spirit necessary to make that nullified.
Most definitely. His Manta style also is going to be dying. It's going to be more about maybe he can get it some dodges, but you're playing against Bat, you're playing against Leshrac, the AoE damage, Battle Fury as well. Illusions are going to die. And Yatoro killing Xnova.
Yeah. Xnova dying again. Yatoro getting another life under his belt, and just no way to stop the Ursa right now, especially with this Aegis. So how much net worth are they going to gain on the side of Spirit working with this first Roche? As Ame continues to try and farm up the creeps in the jungle, and that's all while Spirit are looking to farm up some of these heroes. He's got that Manta style. He's looking to get into that BKB. We'll see if the next fight, maybe if they can avoid this Aegis, avoid these fights, are going to be enough. Flame Break, Avalanche, but avoided by Collapse. Well done. And that will mean that it can kind of stick close. They're not even going to need to use that lasso as Yatoro catches up and gets the kill onto FY and chisels him down.
Very nice sidestep. Uses Boots of Bearing, gets that extra move speed, goes to the side, gives him just enough time for Yatoro to get close. Not even needed to use Lasso in that one. And now they can continue to hunt. This is a very scary lineup. You're playing against multiple Blink Daggers, Invis Nyx Assassin. Amplify damage on Storm. His voice line still says double damage.
Yeah, I think all the picking up of amplified damage are still, they still say double damage. Gonna have to bring all the voice actors back into the booth. As Spirit get together, they group up. They've got 2 minutes left of the Aegis. And waiting on this pipe, is the timing still okay for this pipe on XXS?
It's never too late to buy the pipe, but damage has already been done.
Okay.
Because I noticed that he bought Shard on Visage, which is very expensive. It is 1,400 gold. Not sure if he's going to be getting the value out of it. But the pipe for the whole squad sounds very good.
Mm-hmm.
Ame He is going for a butterfly. Wants to have that extra bit of oomph in the matchup. Eventually, Ursa, if he sees it, he's going to get MKB. Yatra now on the hunt. Leading
They're
the
wrapping
charge.
around. This is so well done by the side of Spirit, but they go to the Supernova. They're going to try and get this egg to go off, but it ends up getting split in half. Xnova buys back immediately. He's not going to have Supernova for this. Panto trying to get away. He's inside the Glimmer Cape. Collapse. He's got no lasso anymore. Ice Path lands on Ame. Flame Break bashes him away, and they will try to retreat without any casualties after this Nyx. It looked like a good pinch from Spirit, but probably not getting everything they wanted out of a fight like that.
Xtreme Gaming, they don't have any long cooldowns. Basically, your longest cooldown is Supernova, which you can still take to fight, even if you don't have it available. This game is only 23 minutes in, and it does feel like it's slightly longer, I would say, considering how farmed both of the carries are. Level 18 on Kez, sitting at 15,000. Ursa, also about to crack level 18. Going into Abyssal Blade, and he sees Butterfly, immediately switches his item build. Needs that MKB, needs to be able to hit him through Butterfly.
Soon to finish the Butterfly there, and he's got that Talisman, he's got that Eagle Song, and then Yatoro Basher finished. It's going to make the lives of these heroes so much harder. And there's a lasso and a kill for Collapse, doing more than enough damage to take out this Tiny. And not really the most impact from this Tiny throughout this game. It's been a little bit tough for FY. I would say overall it hasn't been the best series from FY. But trying to get that redemption in this game number 3 and take this series away from Spirit.
Game 2, he cooked on that Hoodwink.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Maybe I over-judged. But, you know, game 1 with the Serpent Wards was a bit rough.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot. I let it go out of the system. Don't want to remember that one.
No, that one's got to be drained down and forgotten about. Or looking to get that Yasha, combine it with the Kaya. Just got that BKB. There's that Butterfly for Kez. And there was about a 2,000 net worth split between Kez and Ursa at some point. But now it is rocking at just about even.
Yatoro definitely caught up. Didn't die a single time after dying once near the Lotus Bowl fight. Managed to get some solo kills as well. Killed off Roshan. Next, Roshan may respawn in a minute.
Big contention point for Ursa lineups is always the Aegis.
I think it's time for them to smoke. Pipe is ready on Xtreme Gaming, and there it is.
Smoke used and moving forward, but these heroes quite split up on the side of Spirit. All over the map, and not really near where Xtreme Gaming are currently. They are just trying to find anybody they can. But where is anybody at? Panto going to throw down some vision. Ame going to be over towards top. The rest of the team still smoked while Ame continues to farm in this area, and they're not going to find anybody with this smoke. Just unfortunate from Xtreme, but well played by Spirit to kind of split up and stay off the map and stay out of danger. Next success, AC next on the docket. That'll be some time before he gets that. He's got those Boots of Bearing, the Shard, as well as the Pipe that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, just buying auras for now. And then maybe he can start thinking about getting some Hex. You're playing against Ursa. Have that instant lockdown. You see Nyx Assassin as well. But this is 15, 20 minutes from now on. Right now, they need to be able to defend Roshan. Still yet to use that freshly bought Pipe.
Pack the Pipe first, and then hopefully let it rip. There's the Kayasha for the Leshrac. Roche up in 30 seconds. About to hit that 28-minute mark, too, for those shrines, and to get an extra level here or there. FY blinks in, Avalanche not going to find Rue, who's hiding inside the pit. Nobody there either. And that will be a little bit of a miss, as Roche pretty much available. BKB soon for Ame. He'd love to get this before they fight Roche, but it just does not seem like a possibility. Although Ursa is sitting in the top area, maybe, just maybe, it works out where he could get the gold on this. They use the Vendetta, and they were thinking about going forward. There was some vision there that I believe spotted him.
Spirit pickoff game is strong. If they can lock onto one target, if they can find one opening with Batrider, who is, now it might be 2 targets, because they do have 2 massive items. MKB finished on Ursa, which is gonna nullify pretty much that Butterfly, and also Aghanim Scepter getting delivered to Collapse.
This time smoke used by Spirit. Ags picked up for the Batrider. The control is going to be heavy here from Spirit. You need to be very careful if you're Xtreme. BKB now finished for Kez, so he didn't get that opportunity to finish off that item before they end up fighting. But how do you approach this if you're Xtreme? You're looking at an Ags you don't know about. Truthfully, from Collapse, that might just win them the fight instantly. Blink in, Avalanche on it too. FY's gonna go forward. They've got themselves a Sunray, but now they've got the Bash. It's gonna be on nothing to say with the BKB. They're gonna collapse, so it's gonna be on the 1 and 2. The Kez, the Storm, they're both caught trying to parry his way out, but you're not playing Dark Souls, you're playing Dota, and they get the kill on Ame.
It doesn't get better than this. It's the 2 perfect targets, one next to each other, and this fight is completely over. And now Roshan belongs to Spirit.
And the gem, oh boy. Victories upon victories there for the side of Spirit.
They also have no BKB piercing tools other than Supernova, which is not reliable by any means. So when he pops a BKB, he can choose the target that he can go for. Like, you don't necessarily need to even blink. You have Boots of Bearing, you have Firefly, so you can choose which angle and how you're going to be approaching the fight. And now, Jakiro. He even finds extra gold. That's Guardian Greaves, that's Glimmer Cape. And this lineup from Xtreme Gaming, what was supposed to do a couple of minutes ago, they should be the aggressor. They should be the one dictating the tempo of the game. It is just not happening. You are playing against Ursa lineup. Every single time you lose a hero, when Roshan is up, they're going to take that opportunity. And speaking of Roshan and other objectives, Yatoro, he goes in, solo kills the Tormentor, so another shard. Suddenly 15k gold lead for Spirit.
Yeah, jumping up a lot. They picked up the gem off that as well. And, you know, that we were looking at the, not the replay, but the recap of the fight, and it was that first hit bash from the Ursa onto the Storm, which is so unfortunate, but at the same time, it's just, it sets up so perfectly, and off the cleave, we'll use that Spike Carapace, but they're going to make the jump. He is in trouble. He needs to be careful. Lasso on the Raptor Dance again, and he will be bashed up, killed off Amegon one more time.
Not an easy matchup for him. Like, we were talking about these 2 heroes that were just paired up against him. 2 cores. You're playing against Ursa, who has MKB, who has the Basher, and Batrider that can use
going for Oro.
Raptor Dance.
They get this kill, and now FY picks up a gem. He needs to get out, but
and
one more shot, he'll end up losing that gem picked up by Collapse. Yatoro is godlike. TP attempt out by XXS. He'll throw the familiars the other direction, but they did get a kill there on a Laurel. Unfortunately, they had just lost Ame top, and they don't get to hold on to that gem. What could have been a significant moment in getting that gem back. Mid-tier 2, Yatoro able to stand tall and forward with this Aegis. He's got this MKB, this Abyssal Blade now. And he's got Shard getting delivered next on the Courier.
A bit of a different shard than what it was. It does apply 3 Fury Swipes to enemies hit, which is more of an offensive side. This was his previous talent. That was his 15 talent. Then it was moved to level 20 talent. And now moved to Shard.
Never gets forgotten, just gets changed to how you get it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
The AC is not too far away for XXS, but is that truly a game-changing item?
Not necessarily. Like, sure, you have this physical damage coming out, but you also have pure damage from Leshrac. Most of the damage on the other side is magical. It's more about increasing the damage of your team rather than being a defensive at this point of the game.
Icarus dive away, but they're burning the Spike Carapace X Nova. He's going to be forced to Supernova. Mules, but I don't know if it's going to matter. We'll still right-click the egg and get the kill, and they'll get both supports. FY's going to die too, trying to save his buddy. And it's just nothing working out for the side of Xtreme Gaming. And it's coming to the point where they're going to need a massive Hail Mary to make anything work. Refresher for this Batrider too. So now the possibility of lassoing 4 heroes in a fight.
That's 80% of the team. Like, what?
Good math, great math.
Like,
Thumbs up.
what are you gonna do? Like, you have so much damage from Leshrac blinking in,
Oh.
and nothing to save. He's gonna die. NTS, not today, Storm. He's not having that good of a time. It all started with them, like, wrapping around, playing with this Leshrac, securing runes for him, and also him solo dying to Leshrac to start
Abyssal.
with.
Yules XXS turning towards the Ursa, trying to maybe toss him in and force step him all the way into the fountain.
Psychic headband.
Yeah. Trying to
Nice
force
play
him in,
from
but
FY.
they lose both heroes, making this attempt anyway. But now Yatoro's going to die behind a tier 3 tower. They'll refresh. They'll look and
There
get
we
the
go,
lasso
round
on a 2. Oh boy, Macro Pyre. Can Ame survive? Can they go for Yatoro? Do they have the damage coming over the
Yatoro's
Kez? They
dying.
do! They'll parry, they'll try. Ame Raptor dancing, but where's your wife back? Oh dear. Ame gonna buy back. But he got the kill, or well, Nothing to Say got credit for the kill. They got the kill as a team, but Nothing to Say getting 1,000 gold for their efforts on Yatoro.
That's 3 buybacks. That's 2 core buybacks and 1 support.
So
and
you're
there are
saying
no
it's not worth it?
It's definitely not worth it. You can't get any objectives other than this. If there was like a Roshan fight, maybe if they got like 1 or 2 more kills, then it would definitely be worth it. But right now, all they have to do is kill this Kez once and the game ends, because they don't, without Kez, they don't have enough damage.
Kez Raptor dancing and still not surviving. Looking to get Lincolns. This is a 25,000 net worth lead now for Spirit, but I don't even think late game works out for Xtreme. They're gonna need quite the miracle. I don't think these Lincolns are the game changer they'd hope they'd be, or will be, because they don't even have them yet. Battle Cage for Laurel. One of the better tier 4s.
Most definitely.
Or if not the best, honestly.
Depends on the hero.
Amplified damage on Collapse. He's just pushing in, and he's got his level 25 as well. So he's got that. Flame Break applies 4 sticky napalm stacks.
But I would agree that Rattle Cage, me being the offlaner, I would say it's the best item that I can pick up from the offlane. Because most of the time you are the tanky guy, Laurel is in, there's going to be another kill on Tiny, 2 supports gone. Tiny did buy back in the previous fight, so good thing is he's under-leveled, he's level 14, so even with the buyback extra added timer, he's going to be out in 35 seconds.
Spirit have done a good job of making Tiny feel small in this game, and he hasn't had much impact. Not even medium impact in a game as large as this one. But for Tiny to really bring this one back, he'd need to be extra large. Top lane getting pushed in. And pressured by the side of Team Spirit. As Ame continues to farm off screen, he is looking to get anything he can out of the map to feel like he could fight back.
Collapse is ready. Level 25, refresher,
Tower is under
off cooldown.
Can they make a move? Or is Spirit just going to be the initiators once again? Ame scanned perfectly. He's trying so hard to get this Lincolns. And here's the Nyx Assassin. Sees Ame, just waiting for his moment. The rest of the team, you see them immediately converging.
Oh,
And the stun
what a
actually
timing.
misses, but they've got the Abyssal. Will parry that BKB, and the ulti from Ursa doesn't matter. Ame still dead for 2 minutes. And they will find XXS. He's half health. Supernova so far. Backlash is going to land on a nothing to say. They've got the bashes, the damage, the kill there too. Down goes FY, and Spirit cleaning up. As that will be 4 heroes without buyback, and that will be GG as Spirit will take the series 2-1 over Xtreme, who brought it to a game 3 but couldn't complete the comeback.
3 games of Kez, and he lost every single one of them.
Yes.
And this was kind of, I feel like this hero was forced in 2 out of